everybody. I'm Mark.
I'm Britton.
And today we have a very, very special guest on today, our friend Emily. Say hi, Emily.
Hello.
All right, and today we are going to be talking about the movie Re-Animator. This is my first time ever seeing it.
This is my second.
And I think this is one of Emily's favorite movies, she said.
Yes.
So let's just get started. Jump right in. I guess as a good way to do this is let's kind of give a very, very brief description of what the movie's actually about, a brief plot summary. So, Britton?
So, the film stars Jeffrey Combs in another kind of creepy, awkward role, which he is very good at portraying. Jeffrey Combs being one of my favorite underrated actors.
Mm-hmm.
He plays
Herbert West.
Herbert West, who is kind of coming in from Europe and into this prestigious college, and then he's kind of a fish out of water, a little bit of a
he's a snot-nosed little punk.
Yeah, he's a bit of a black sheep, and pretty much his research is in reanimating dead tissue.
Mm-hmm. He moves in with the main character, who his name is Dan Kane, and he takes up residence in this guy's, I guess, little house. He goes into the basement and performs experiments on reanimation. And, well, one thing leads to another, and we're going to get very spoiler-heavy in this podcast, as always. Though,
in a movie called Re-Animator, you have to expect there's going to be...
rising from the dead?
Yeah.
Alright, so, actually, like I said before, this was this is my first time actually watching this movie. And I gotta say, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask, Emily, what about this movie, like, kind of, I guess, sets it apart for you? Because I know you do like 80s horror movies, which is awesome. I know you're a big fan of the Evil Dead series, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
So, like, what is it about Re-Animator that you really enjoy?
I probably should have asked this beforehand, but is profanity okay?
Or should 100%.
By all means.
Oh my god. Okay, so the summer of 2020. I had not seen Re-Animator until maybe July of this year. I know, right? And I went to the Mahoning Drive-In Theater for their zombie weekend, and we stayed the whole weekend, but the night we were most looking forward to, I'm not sure, I think it was, okay, I don't remember, but on the bill was Frankenhooker and Re-Animator.
Haven't seen Frankenhooker.
I think I have. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Frankenhooker is insane. But, like, it was like a bill about, like, reanimation, like, that certain night, and we all fell asleep. Like, we were so stoked for Frankenhooker, it took all of our energy, and Re-Animator was on last, and we missed it, so we were like, fuck. Like, that's, like, the one that we, like, felt obligated to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'm really, really happy we didn't see it there, because when we got home and just, like, decided as roommates just to have, like, a movie night and watch it, we were all like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think I have a really big issue with zombies. Like, I still don't George Romero movies freak me out. Like, even just Night of the Living Dead, even though that's just like...
more of a claustrophobic...
Purple eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
He has the most terrifying makeup in the business.
It's like, it's for some reason, like, people treating dead bodies like they're alive is like my biggest fear. Like, even Weekend at Bernie's, never seen it.
I love Weekend at Bernie's.
That is phenomenal.
Great movie.
Bernie,
you're missing something special with that one. But go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
Like, just this movie, like, for some reason, it just blew my mind. I am not a fan of H.P. Lovecraft stories. Like, I read them when I was younger, and I was just like, So this was never high on my list. But like, the scene where Dr. Hill is like holding his head between the girl's legs was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
I was sitting there, I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this.
It is 100% a spectacle.
I can tell you the moment, you see, early on I was like, all right, Jeffrey Combs is really selling it for me. I was like, I really like the way he has this this cocky but still awkward, personality.
Yeah.
Like I said, he has a screen presence that is just, completely uncomfortable. And I was on board like early on, and then when he reanimated the cat and they had, they actually started doing the science stuff, I was like, yeah, this is actually pretty good. But the moment again, this is going to spoilers, but the moment that the Dr. Hill was walking around, like carrying his own head in a pan, I lost it. I started laughing my ass off. I was like, what is this? This is great.
And
it's so wild.
It is.
And just the screen presence. I want to get back a little bit to Jeffrey Combs in his screen presence. Like, he has very much a very similar screen presence in The Frighteners.
Oh yeah, we were actually talking about that when we were watching a movie, me and Emily, because she I don't think she's seen The Frighteners, and I was like, yeah, that was the first movie I seen him in. So to me, he's always Dammers, because that was his character's name in The Frighteners.
And he has the screen presence of that guy that stands too close to you in line, and and sniffs your hair.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been there. I've had my hair sniffed in line.
And you sniffed others.
Yes, that's what I do. That's why I'm a sniffer. I'm like the president.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out, this is something I was thinking about when I was watching the movie, is that I really miss practical effects.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like, even though you can look at this movie and be like, yeah, he's just holding, like, someone's just holding this guy's neck, from off screen.
Or he's just holding a cat doll on his back.
Yeah, it's like, it still has, like, it's there, it's something that's actually there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bit of cleverness to it. And that's something I really appreciate. And I'm not going to sit there and say, like, that movies that have CGI are just bad in general. I'm just saying that if I had my druthers, I would prefer scored 7 years ago. I would prefer more practical effects.
Yeah. And I know for budgetary reasons, a lot of times CGI tends to take priority, but there, like you said, there's just something about something tangible, on screen, not and not some actor talking to a tennis ball on a string.
Here's one for you, Emily. Have you ever seen Dead Alive, or I guess it's called Brain Dead in
New Zealand? Yes.
That's on my list. Isn't it directed by Peter Jackson?
Yes, it is. And that's kind of what I want to bring, because that movie was very low budget, and a lot of practical effects, and it was just a treat, just a wonderful treat. But it's kind of funny you mentioned that CGI might be more a budgetary thing, but it's like, man, Peter Jackson had like $50 and a camera, and he still made a more engrossing, movie with practical effects.
He had $50 and an Easter egg food coloring kit.
Yeah.
And that's all he needed.
I know it's available in its entirety on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Down. Yes, so I literally couldn't find it anywhere else, so I'm planning on watching that soon. My friend wanted to watch it with me, so I've been delayed in watching it.
That's nice.
I got it. Isn't that considered like the goriest movie ever made?
It's one of them. I will tell you, I think it does, if I'm not mistaken, does deal with zombies.
Yeah.
As long as it's funny. That's why I'm so enamored with Evil Dead 2. Like, if it's funny. Evil Dead 2 as in, like, Evil Dead as well, but also Evil Dead 2 the movie.
2 is my favorite of the Evil Dead, I guess, trilogy, the Ash trilogy.
Though there is something to be said about Army of Darkness.
It's okay.
I do like my Army of Darkness.
I think it's okay. I do think it's a step down after part 2. I think 2 is the best horror comedy I've ever seen.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Army of Darkness is more, like, kitschy than it is horror. Yeah. Like, I understand there's, like, skeletons and scary monsters.
Yeah.
But it's, like, all kind of Ash fan service, which isn't a bad thing. Like, Ash is a great character, and I like to see it develop. But Evil Dead 2, when I forget his name, but when the girl's, like, dad who locked his wife in the cellar comes back with, like, a ghost, that scares me every single time.
That was...
Like, it comes out of nowhere every time.
That was Sam Raimi's brother.
Oh.
As the horror hag, that bloated lady that's in the basement.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Sam Raimi's brother.
I think the scene in Evil Dead 2, not to get too far off from Re-Animator, we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene in Evil Dead 2, the scene that always sells it to me, I know you probably know what I'm talking about, Britton, is when he's just laughing his ass off with, like, you know, all the lamp and the deer head and everything, and it just turns from a laughter to a scream. It's like, that is such a, to me, it's such a funny... it's such a great moment in cinema, like, you know, just in general.
It's he's skirting that line between sanity and like he has to laugh or else he'll scream, and he eventually does.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to Re-Animator. There's a lot to be said about this movie in terms of I know it's based off an H.P. Lovecraft story. And I think we were talking about this early on about maybe, like, do you think this was Lovecraft's answer to Frankenstein? Because there's a lot of similar ideas to Frankenstein that's in this story. I guess one idea, bringing the dead back to life. I guess that's it.
Yeah. It's the one plot point.
Yeah. But they kind of both deal with we'll say a mad doctor, and a love interest that eventually turns bad, and yeah, that's it. Reanimation. So I guess not a lot like it.
No little girl in the lake, though.
Not yet. That's maybe maybe that's gonna be in Bride of Reanimator. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, yeah, she's throwing girls in the lake left and right in that one.
So, going back to Reanimator, I guess we're still on Reanimator. I will say, like I said before, the scene that sold me was that first time seeing the guy walk around with his head in a pan. So I'm gonna do a little round table thing. What was the first scene in Reanimator that kind of made you endeared to it? We'll start with you, Britton, then we'll move on to Emily afterwards.
Pretty much Jeffrey Combs in anything.
Just when he first appears?
Yeah, like, even that crappy, what was it, the Scream sequel he was in?
Oh, no, it was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, even in that, he was good. Like, he's good as Dammers.
Mm-hmm.
He's, like, there is nothing that I wouldn't watch that has Jeffrey Combs in it. So, the moment he kind of just... sucks the air out of the room. I was on board.
All right, so how about you, Emily? What was, like, the moment, because I know you said you saw this very recently, so what was a moment where you're just like, man, this is great, I want to watch this again and again?
Okay, so the moment, and I also just realized earlier I called Dr. Hill Dr. Halsey, but they're both like Dr. H, so it doesn't matter.
You can just say Dr. H, we'll know.
So the scene that, like, solidified it in my brain as being, like, one of my all-time favorites, even though I saw it, like, 7 months ago, was when Dr. Hill, which is, like, the love interest's father, the dean of the school, is in the straitjacket in, like, the loony bin, and he, like, pops up against the window.
Yeah.
I'm not easily frightened, but that made me jump when I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, like, I haven't been scared watching a horror movie in, like, a very, very, very long time. Like, I remember seeing Hereditary in theaters before, the hype about it was, my gosh, yeah.
We just did a podcast on that, so.
That was an ordeal.
I saw it, like, before any of, like, Ari Aster's hype, like, came into, like, mainstream stuff, and I didn't know who he was. I just wanted to see it because, like, I saw nonstop commercials of the dad being on fire, and I was like, maybe it will be okay. And then, like, when Charlie smacked her head on the pole, I was like, I felt a little nauseous, and I was like, maybe I should go home, but I stuck through it. But this movie, like, I paused it a few times and was like, Jesus Christ, like, this is kind of a lot, and I was not expecting it, and it's gross.
It sneaks up on you because it has a very, I'd say, kind of restrained first couple acts. Where like the first act, it's like, all right, you're introducing, Jeffrey Combs and this stuff. I'd say the second act begins with the cat being on the guy's back, and doing all, like, starting all that reanimation stuff. And even then, it's more about, like, the scientific method,
and a lot of it's also building up his character because you don't know whether or not this, going into this, that this guy is a genius or just a lunatic who is killing cats and putting it in his fridge.
That's true. And then, and it all builds into a climax where we literally have just a bunch of dead bodies rising in unison from their slab. I'm like, man, this is great. But again, like, it starts out just kind of, I wouldn't say slow, but, very meticulously paced.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you told me in the first 10 minutes that this little wiener who's like arguing with his professor about brain death was going to result in a disembodied head being shoved between a woman's legs, I was like, I wouldn't have seen that twist coming.
Or getting tangled in entrails.
Oh yeah.
That reminds me of the part. Have you guys seen Ash vs. Evil Dead, the TV series?
I've seen a few episodes.
Oh,
I've seen
there's
the first 3.
One episode, Ash has to be in a morgue for some reason, and there's the Necronomicon's hiding in one of the bodies, and he gets pulled up the asshole of one of the corpses, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in the butt." That it always reminds me of that.
I do have a question for you, because we always like to have these little discussions with our guests. So, since this is a horror movie, and I know you mentioned before that, when the doctor kind of popped up and scared them in the little straitjacket, it kind of frightened you. What would you consider the scariest movie that you've seen? Like one that you always find kind of scary? I guess we'll start to give you some time. Because I know for me, it is and will always be Poltergeist.
It is a good one.
I love Poltergeist. I think it's a fantastic, one of my favorite movies, but it always... It has that perfect balance between awe and terror, and I think that is the scariest movie I've seen.
Yeah. Isn't it rated PG? I've never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good one.
It is a... it just goes to show that, because there's not a lot of gore in it. There's only one scene, I would say, that's actually gory.
What do you think? What?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we're speaking in a little, in vagaries.
I don't know. I think it's the scariest movie Craig T. Nelson is in until Coach.
Okay. You leave Coach out of this.
And it's definitely a good one. I can't really think.
Britain doesn't have any emotion, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty much dead inside, so I nothing really affects me. Maybe Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, that was a scary one.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
Look, there's a spider. I'm scared of it.
I'm scared of spiders. What do you want me to say? All right, Emily, what about you?
You guys are wacky. There's this one movie, I actually haven't even finished it because it was so terrifying to me. It involves people, or a woman. It's called The Eyes of My Mother. Have you guys ever seen it?
No.
Sounds familiar.
It came out in 2016. I saw it on Netflix. I don't know what else it came out on. It could have been a theater release, but I don't know, Netflix. And this girl grows up, and her mom's either a vet or a surgeon, but she cuts open some form of bodies for her work, and this girl grows up around it, and then suddenly this guy, it's set in the past, before cell phones, this guy comes to their door and is like, "Hi, let me in," and the mom was like, no, and he forces himself in. Am I allowed to give a spiel about the movie?
Sure, by all means.
And he just beats her to death with a meat cleaver, and this girl does not care because she sees this stuff all the time because her mom's cutting open animals and people and stuff like that. And so she grows up with her dad, and her dad eventually passes away, and she doesn't want to accept it, and she doesn't really understand death because
she's
because of all that shit that happened to her when she was younger. And so she just bathes her dad while he's rotting, and is just Weekend at Bernie style, carrying him around and pretending he's alive. And then there's so many weird twists, the guy that beat his mom to death, it turned out the dad found him and chained him up in their family barn, and she feeds him raw eggs every morning. It's so fucking weird. Never finished it. Only saw it once. It was so weird.
See, in my head, I'm imagining that she's feeding her dead dad like oatmeal or something, and like talking like, "Thanks for the oatmeal, honey."
You were literally if you hadn't done that, I was going to do the same exact thing.
It's just oatmeal.
like because I imagine him at the kitchen table with a bib, and it wasn't oatmeal for me. It was pudding. Like, thank you, daughter. You're welcome, corpse dad.
You got looks like you got more on your stomach than you got in your mouth.
I know.
It's my turn to change the bedpan.
Now, going back a little bit to Reanimator, I do have an interesting idea, I guess, but question, which is, now, let's pretend that the reanimation process maybe doesn't always turn people feral. Maybe it works to a degree.
Yeah.
Who would you want to like reanimate? I guess like who would be at the top of your list for reanimation? This is for everybody, of course. But
Shemp Howard.
Shemp. See, I was thinking Curly actually, but it's funny that we were both thinking one of the Three Stooges.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Emily, you gotta do Larry now. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a waste of fluid.
Okay, Emily.
Oh, jeez.
Shemp.
Well, okay, if someone got their brains blown out, would they be reanimated as if they had, like, half a brain?
Are you bringing back Kurt Cobain?
I was gonna say JFK.
Oh, okay, that works too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Like, he'll just be, he'll, let's just say, maybe he'll talk slower.
Yeah.
But maybe, it's like, although I can't imagine now we're going with the Three Stooges. I can't imagine a Three Stooges like half feral, but sometimes okay.
Like I don't know. Like the rules being that there has to be a brain. I think they're beyond not having a brain at this point.
Like Curly does an eye poke and the eye comes out of like Mo or something.
It's just he does an eye poke and it just goes into the hollow sockets.
It's body horror Three Stooges. I think I would kind of watch that.
A Cronenberg film.
Oh god.
Three Stooges directed by Cronenberg.
Oh my god, I think I just remembered the movie that was on the bill with Reanimator and Frankenhooker. It was Shivers.
Oh, that was one of his earlier ones too.
Well, isn't it called something else, like now or whenever it came out? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't even know. Is that about a pirate?
It's the one where in the apartment complex and the doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember
the Parasite Murders is what it was called.
That sounds like a Sherlock Holmes case.
Put a worm in their food.
Like actually, I'm thinking that the parasite is like wearing a deerstalker cap and got the magnifying glass. Like the parasite is Sherlock Holmes.
Like the parasite smoking a pipe.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a little smoking jacket on. And he's playing the violin,
doing cocaine.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then here comes Parasite Watson just slithering in.
Well, slithering in with a limp because he just got back from the war.
He's back from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Parasite Moriarty. The man of 1,000 faces. They all look exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, Moriarty's a hookworm. As opposed
somebody stepped in mud without shoes on.
Yeah. And, Holmes is obviously a tapeworm.
Oh, of course.
And Watson's malaria.
Yes,
I know a lot of more parasites than I thought I would.
You just rattled them off. That's great.
You guys say the darndest things.
This is what people tune into, I guess.
They tune in for lunacy.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys want to hear about a Sherlock Holmes story where they're all parasites of different types?
No.
Oh, well, here's the Sherlock Holmes story where they're all parasites of different types.
I will allow this.
It's like I'd like Reanimator because it is pretty much even though it's the first time I'm seeing this to me is a almost quintessential 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
And the one thing I do say about horror movies in the 80s that I absolutely love compared to a lot of horror movies today, because I'm not a huge fan of modern horror movies, is that in the 80s they just seem to have so many great ideas and they knew how to explore them to their proper conclusion.
And pacing is also a big thing. Like modern horror is is very slow going, a very slow boil, and 80s horror, and 90s horror to that extent as well, definitely know how to keep you engaged more.
Yeah, I can agree.
Like the exception that being Hereditary.
Yeah.
If there is any movie that needed a head in a pan, it would definitely be Hereditary.
That would be, something less. Yeah, if you mix the universes together, the Hereditary universe and the Re-Animator universe, I think it would make the Re-Animator universe, a little bit more interesting. But I do think it would kind of degrade the pure terror that was Hereditary.
But it would make it a lot less bleak.
That's true. The bleakness was what it had going for it.
I guess, but can you imagine dumb Charlie bumbling around in the house as she's
without a head?
Without a head, like the dumb.
She's like, I don't want to take my shoes off.
And it's like,
but it's just her head rolling around. She doesn't even have shoes. Her body's somewhere far away, already incinerated.
I was thinking more like the heads bumping into the vases and knocking them down, and Mother's yelling at her.
I didn't want to have you either, Charlie.
She's punishing the headless corpse and sending the corpse to the room, but the head gets to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the head gets to stay for dinner. The head finished her supper, so she's allowed to stay.
Yeah, exactly. See, now I'm thinking of a birthday scene where they have to, lift the head up to blow the candles out for her birthday cake. That's all.
Thank you.
And then the dumb headless grandmother rotting in the attic.
Well, actually,
I guess she's still rotting. I guess she's not as fresh.
I think it's like they're both walking around bumping into things, so they have to call an exterminator to spray for headless corpses.
And the poor father is still even in that version, he's still miserable and pulling his hair out.
He's just like, I can't do this anymore.
He lights himself on fire at that point.
It's like all the just headless corpses, there's I'm gonna say 40 or 50 headless corpses somewhere, in the house. Whenever he turns the lights on, they scatter, but, they don't have heads, so they keep on bumping into things.
I see the mother walking around batting them with a fly swatter.
The father's, imagine making ships in a bottle, and every single one, and every single one gets broken by the end because of these headless corpses.
Honey, we gotta do something.
What was that?
He's he's the dude from old sitcoms in the 80s and the 90s where he loves to put ships together in bottles.
Yeah, he's like the dean from Animal House.
Like Mr. Belvedere.
Guys,
those damn corpses.
We have to do something about these corpses. You think we're not calling people on these corpses?
Honey, another corpse got in the wall again.
He hits it with a broom to try to scare it out.
Get out of here, get out of here.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
There's another headless corpse nest in the trees.
Always headless corpses that we have in these or in these Hereditary discussions.
Yeah, well, it's the theme of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you had to describe Hereditary in 2 words, it'd be headless corpse.
Yeah. And Charlie.
Yeah. Charlie bet me. So, I'm actually so far off topic. With Re-Animator, that's a movie.
Yeah,
we're
Re-Animator.
Kind of got sidetracked a little bit there. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Look, Hereditary will choke anyone.
I know. I got a little bit flustered,
and I don't blame you.
So we were talking about horror movies in the 80s before we kind of got sidetracked, and talking about how they do know how to take their ideas and run with them all the way through to the end. And to me, the moment for that was, of course, when all the heads, or not the heads, I'm talking about heads now, when all the corpses rose up from the gurneys.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, this is taking this one idea and carrying it through all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, you go.
No, by all means.
Did you guys notice in the beginning...
The Talking Heads poster?
Yes.
I mentioned that when I was sitting there watching the movie. I was like, I just got that joke.
And Jeffrey Combs looks like the guy from Talking Heads as well.
Yeah. I like one song by the Talking Heads. I don't think I know any other songs.
I don't know any other songs either.
I like how you knew what I was going to say.
Because funny thing was, I was actually thinking about bringing that up later on. I was like, I'll put a pin in this, and I'll mention this later, because that's an interesting thing to talk about.
And, what was I going to say? Damn it.
Headless corpses of...
I think I remember what I was going to say. One thing I am kind of curious about is what would occur if the Re-Animator universe and the Beetlejuice universe existed in the same thing. Like, what would happen to Beetlejuice if he got the goop from the serum from
See, I think that.
Do you think that's the only way you can kill him? Like Freddy Krueger, you have to bring him into their
realm.
Yeah,
like bring him back to life so you can kill him again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Beetlejuice is actually happier being dead.
Well, yeah, that's not the point.
Well, like, where's his body? Like, who knows where his body is?
Yeah, because he's just a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he has. I thought he was his own body.
Well, if he has a body, what does he have to worry about?
Yeah,
I guess.
Here's an interesting thing about Beetlejuice. Like, was he buried in those like black and white clothes?
I think the black and white clothes only kind of really came in towards the end. Like,
when he's getting married.
He had a red suit on when he was getting married, Mark.
That's right. I'm sorry. What was I thinking?
Like, like the only time he was wearing the black and white suit that I can recall is when what's her name?
Lydia?
No, yeah, Lydia. Summons him.
I guess that's true.
Like, he was just wearing a bunch of different outfits, like a cowboy outfit.
Yeah, that's right. In the commercial, and then he's in the graveyard.
I'll possess myself!
I love Beetlejuice. You've seen Beetlejuice. You must have, because you just corrected me on my Beetlejuice lore.
Oh yeah, huge. I like the musical more, but the movie suits me for right now.
Yeah, it's my favorite Tim Burton film, hands down.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the second Alice in Wonderland sequel.
No, you're not.
No, I know. I'm not at all.
You're not gonna go with that.
No, I think Beetlejuice probably is my favorite as well.
Though I haven't seen Edward Scissorhands in a very long time. I kind of want to.
I haven't seen Ed Wood ever, and that's
not bad. That's not bad at all.
I think that'd be right up our alley.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because never mind then. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think I have it on DVD somewhere.
Really?
No,
I didn't think so. Anyway, so well, I guess that answers that question. I was going to say, what other movies could
benefit from the
from
Re-Animator universe?
Yeah, like bring Re-Animator into it. I guess you say Beetlejuice. I think that's fine. Me, I'm going to throw him into a Freddy universe because Freddy's my favorite, and I think that would be like we know where Freddy's buried.
I thought he was just ashes.
He's in a junkyard.
Oh yeah, and the third
one. Did they burn him?
Nah, they just blessed him.
What a way to go.
That really got his goat.
Yeah.
Bless me, will you?
Hey, I don't like to be blessed. They only stopped him for like a couple of weeks, and he's like, all right, that was just him taking a nap. Every time Freddy dies, I think he's just sleeping.
I imagine if you gave the Re-Animator serum to Jason, he just becomes a real boy like Pinocchio.
Oh God.
Like, yeah, he doesn't need to, Jason's one of the few, I'm gonna say, monsters that is really just he's a zombie. That's all there is to it. He's just a walking zombie.
Later in the series, I think he was just a big lummox.
Yeah.
Initially.
Yeah, in the first, go ahead.
I feel like you guys are wasting the juice. Like, these people are already figured out how to come back from the dead.
Yeah, that's true. All the three of the things we mentioned do not need the Re-Animator juice.
Yeah, I guess.
We're bad at this.
Yeah.
We'll bring back 2 of the 3 Stooges. Yeah. And Emily's bringing back, world leaders. Yeah. All right, so how about you? Who would you? I got to think of some other.
Yeah, I know.
You threw us off.
Beetlejuice and Freddy Krueger. Let's bring back a murderer.
All right. So what about you, Emily? What are some other universes you think you can bring in?
Ooh, well, like Star Wars, irrelevant. Because if you're a good enough boy, you get a Force ghost.
Yeah,
that's true.
Qui-Gon doesn't get one because he's a Sith.
I think at some point, like, he didn't get a Force ghost. Like, he was a Jedi, but at some point, like, he kicked a puppy.
And it was just enough. I mean, he didn't disappear when he died, and every other Jedi disappears when they die. They had to burn him.
Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Revoke his ghost status.
Forrest Gump, bring Jenny back.
Oh
no, Jenny was the worst thing. Jenny just...
Here we go.
No, don't get me started on Jenny. Jenny just used this poor dummy.
Here, take this.
What is that?
There we go. You're fine now.
Jenny is the Daisy of the Forrest Gump universe.
Oh, Lord.
Well, gee, now I'm trying to think about someone who I would want to bring back from these movies. You know what? I'm gonna mix with the Alien universe. Aliens.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring back Hicks from Aliens. Bill Paxton.
Ooh. The Matrix?
Bring back the entire Matrix.
No, not like... no. Like, what's the dude's name? Mouse?
Oh, poor Mouse.
Was that the kid that made the red dress?
Yeah, he made the red dress.
Yeah, bring him back. Didn't he die?
Yeah, he got shot.
Yeah.
He was the first one to die.
Aw.
I'll bring back Agent Smith. I don't know how this works.
There was enough of them.
Yeah, I don't know how this works. He clearly also conquered
just copy
death.
and paste him. And there you go, he's fine. I would... From the Matrix universe?
That's just in general, but the Matrix... well, I'll bring back Trinity. She was cool.
She's not... Is she dead?
She died in the third one.
Well, are we gonna
include the third one? I guess not.
Include the other two?
I guess
thought we
not.
kind of disavowed those.
Yeah.
I'd bring back the black cat.
Oh, the deja vu cat?
Yeah, the deja vu. I presumed it was hit by a bus after it left.
That was the same cat that Jeffrey Combs brought back. That was the same one that in the beginning. Yeah. That's why it was so angry. It was a deja vu cat.
Like, I'd be angry too if I was thrown against a wall.
Pissed so many times.
Yeah.
You get slighted so many times you just can't take it anymore, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I like to believe that even though he did kind of hint on it, it's like, birth is painful. I was like, I imagine that in their universe, like, death is very peaceful. It's a nice, transgression from one state to another. And then when you have to go back the other way, it's very painful, and it's like taking a cold shower. And it's like, you're not happy after you take a cold shower. And now, like, imagine your whole life is a cold shower. That's why everything is so angry in Re-Animator.
When you get shot with the juice and you wake up and you're rabid and you have no control over your body or your mind, and you just think to yourself, this is just like a cold shower. This fucking sucks.
I imagine
this is slightly annoying.
I would say it's probably closer to when you're blackout drunk.
I don't get violent when I'm blackout drunk.
Are you out of your mind? I get death threats all the time from you.
I get death threats when I'm not drunk.
I know, but I get more when you're drunk. And,
Yeah. Blackout drunk. That's
blackout drunk.
That's what being reanimated is like.
I wonder how it would, how the reanimator serum would affect the Ghostbusters universe. Would it just put them out of business?
Well, I feel like some people, instead of do not resuscitate, they're like, do not reanimate. I wish to be dead.
Yeah, like I want to... See, the Ghostbusters, they have to deal with the cleanup after that.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as like they give up the ghost and the ghost kind of rises and goes to heaven, then they zap them and put them in their little box.
As soon as they're free, just put them in a Pokeball.
Oh man, those are two universes.
There are ghosts in Pokemon.
Yeah,
I think
there are.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Pokemon and Re-Animator. That's what we're talking about, right?
Sure. Reanimate a Snorlax.
So yeah, okay. So reanimating maybe the guy from Ghost. Maybe he deserved to be reanimated.
Patrick Swayze?
Yeah, Patrick Swayze from Ghost. Maybe Casper deserved to be reanimated.
No, he didn't. He poisoned those school children.
Well, that was a mistake.
You still poisoned them.
Just because it's a mistake doesn't mean you can get away with it.
Yeah, I know.
They called him back then. They called him Typhoid Casper.
Oh. Yeah. So we have Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, Mufasa. Can we bring him back?
Yeah, he's a cloud.
He's back to life. He knows what's good.
Yeah?
He's in cloud form.
He figured it out.
I think he comes back as a hurricane. Just wipes the savannah clean. This place needs a purge.
You see, I'm thinking that, you bring back Mufasa with the reanimator juice, and he becomes more feral, and it's fine because he's an animal, he's a lion.
I imagine a feral lion just becomes tame. It's like one of those toothless circus lions.
Oh.
where he comes back and he just balances on a ball. Mufasa, we need you.
Well, you know what? I'll be honest, the hyenas wouldn't fuck with a guy who's doing that.
No.
That's the most dangerous creature you can... I don't know what he's gonna do next.
I imagine it's just, like, he only comes out for ceremonial occasions. They keep him kind of more... in the caves.
He's like the royal family.
Yeah, he's like one of those royal family members that they're not quite as proud of.
Prince Philip.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't hear this.
What is he gonna do?
He looks like he's been sitting in a crock pot for like 30 years.
Speaking of reanimated corpses.
So Mufasa, like, they only bring him out every now and again.
He waves to the crowd and stares at the balloons.
Now, here's the thing: in this universe, Scar is actually, because he has to lead but keep up the facade.
Yeah.
So he's almost like de facto in charge, and so he's less cruel and hyena friendly. He's just kind of trying to keep make ends meet while balancing this lie at the same time, and it tears him apart inside, is what I'm saying.
I imagine he's just this stressed out lion trying to keep a budget somehow. Like, all right, we can't eat these zebras because we're starting to lose zebras. We have to eat the antelope, and he starts going bald from the stress.
I was gonna say
he
he has bald patches. He has a paunch.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Lion King universe works perfectly with the Reanimator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be down with it.
And
all right.
Simba overdoses somehow.
Oh, and the Reanimator fluid?
No, just drugs.
Oh. I was gonna say, because I know how Jeffrey Combs has the, almost, like, in the Reanimator, he almost has, like, an addiction to the,
Yeah, they never really, didn't really,
talk about
that. I thought,
just to keep his brain kind of going.
Yeah.
Microdosing.
Yeah.
I thought that's how he kind of survived that chemical smoke.
Yeah, at the end.
Because he was kind of in between worlds with the reanimator juice in him.
And I know there's a brighter Reanimator. I'm assuming he's got to be in it. Actually, I don't know. I've never seen it, so.
And then there was a
Son of Reanimator.
And then Reanimator in space.
Of course. Reanimator in the hood. I remember that.
Reanimator lost in New York.
Reanimator back to the hood.
Oh.
And of course, I got nothing.
Reanimator Electric Boogaloo.
Reanimator Viva Rock Vegas.
Reanimator Kicks Back.
Reanimator Knuckles Up. Yeah, we got 1 million of them, apparently.
Reanimator 2, Herbert's Revenge.
Yes. Reanimator 2, Judgment Day.
Yep. Reanimator 3, Revenge of the Sith.
And of course we have the prequels.
Oh,
of course.
Where there's no Jeffrey Combs, and only the cat.
Named
Yes, doesn't have
Barbar
anything
Lynx.
to do with it.
You say Barbara Binks?
Barbar Lynx.
Oh. Ah, that's good. It gets my
So
stamp.
Simba's coming back.
Yes.
Alright.
The new pride. The new batch. Alright, so let's talk about some final thoughts of Reanimator. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a very, very well done movie. A lot of ideas, a lot of big ideas, and it just had a great climax, and everything, every idea was satisfied to, at least for me, like all the way through to the end.
Yeah. I think it's definitely an instant classic. I don't really think it gets the the attention it deserves. I like the effects. I like the acting. Like I said before, Jeffrey Combs is one of my favorite kind of typecast actors, and definitely worth the watch if no one has seen it yet.
What he said. Absolute classic. H.P. Lovecraft is a little bitch. Stop making movies about Cthulhu and give us an entire Re-Animator franchise. Re-Animator Back to the Hood.
Yes.
What we just said. Everything.
More Re-Animators.
Please, no more Cthulhu. You guys know that movie that just came out with like Kristen Stewart and they went underwater and like the big twist was that it was like, oh my god, Cthulhu's in the water.
No, I don't. I didn't know about that.
No, spoiler alert. It was Cthulhu in the water.
Is that the Shyamalan movie, Cthulhu in the Water?
Ugh.
I think it was directed by Shyamalan.
Oh, wow.
No.
All right.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have to confirm this. Did you know Shyamalan wrote the screenplay for Stuart Little?
Yeah, actually, I
Really?
Yeah, I saw the on. I think it was like Nostalgia Critic or something like that. He was talking about it.
It was the mouse all along.
All right, so it was called Underwater, and it was not written by Shyamalan, but that is like a Shyamalan twist that would disappoint anyone.
All right, so Emily, do you have anything that you'd like to promote?
Hello, my name's Emily. I make music. I have a long-term band called Local News Legend, and we sing about depression and stuff, but I also have a dumb pop project called Jack the Stripper, and we make pop music for bimbos, and it's fun. And we had a guy dress up like Herbert West for our last music video, and
nice.
It's gonna be fun. And I bought a replica syringe with the bright green shit in it to use for the music video, and then it didn't come in time, so I had to buy those party syringes for shots, and I filled it with Baja Blast.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, nice.
But
that sounds awesome.
It's green, it's goop.
Yeah, Ecto Cooler if they would have still made it.
Is there a website or a channel that they can see some of your stuff at?
Yes. Okay, my YouTube is literally just Emily G, but there's a picture of me. I have red hair and I'm holding a guitar, and I have a lot of subscribers, and that's a lot, isn't 5,000, but that's a lot to me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But that's where you can find all of my music. And then Jack the Stripper is at 666 Jack the Stripper on Instagram. Local News Legend is just that on Instagram. And my personal Instagram, because I have so many, is I was mugged by the Mothman. Just like that.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, great. I can vouch for Emily. I've seen her music before. I've seen a couple of live things you do on Facebook, and I think that you're fantastic. I'm very happy that you decided to join us on this podcast, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, take it easy now.
A toodaloo.
Bye.
That'll hold a little SOPs.